no be course for the universities. Your body no be paper, but I love your properties. Hey, go tell your father, Mr. Socrates. Say I make ready to make you my missus. Oh my darling, yeah, Melissa. Post make a who could take me picture. If I no marry you in future, like a grace, I just wanna be a mister. Oh my darling, yeah, Melissa. Oh brony, Melissa. It's more watching, it's more pizza. Oh brony, Melissa. Oh my darling, oh brony, Melissa.
Good afternoon. This is Radio Guy Online. This is the midday news. My name is Miriam Matrebia Kobla. I'm here with.
If you ask me, you are Amoyao.
And now to our headlines. The Education Minister says reopening of schools will be dependent on the behavior of COVID-19.
And in entertainment, I'm focusing on good music, not awards, says Ochame Kwame.
Now, government is planning on converting the national identification numbers to the tax identification numbers.
And in sports, Atletico Madrid suffered shock in the hands of Leipzig. Well, details of these and more coming up shortly. Do stay with us. And in our first story, Cabinet has approved the Common Core Program curriculum for junior and senior high schools, which is expected to be rolled out in the next academic year. The Common Core Program is a 4-year program comprising of 9 subjects, that is mathematics, languages, science, religious and moral education, physical and health education, career technology, social studies, computing, creative art and design. The curriculum is designed for students in JHS and SHS1 as part of the learning experiences necessary to equip them for higher education. Well, according to some civil society organizations, they indicated that comprehensive sex education is actually included in the curriculum. Meanwhile, there were denials and conflicting reports of the inclusion of the CSE in the last year's curriculum by the Education Minister and the GES.
Now, in a related story, most Ghanaians have questioned whether or not schools will be fully reopened soon. Now, the Ministry of Education earlier mentioned schools would not be reopened anytime soon, but it seems most people are still in doubt. Speaking on TV3's COVID-19 316, the Minister of Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, said the reopening of schools would depend largely on how the virus behaves in the country. He noted when schools reopened for final year students to write their examination, the government suffered from people. However, these same people, he observed, are now calling for all schools to reopen. He also explained that the decision to reopen schools will be based on the available science and data on the COVID-19 situation in the country.
Well, moving away from education, now to some local news. The Ghana Journalists Association has called for soldiers who assaulted a TV3 journalist to be dealt with. The GJA, in a statement signed by its president, Ronald Alpha Omani, said the association was upset with the news of the incident. The said journalist, Stanley Nibo Blewu, is a cameraman at TV3 who went to Tema Station in Accra to do a story on the state of sanitation after the Minister of Information and Water Resources, Cecilia Dapa, announced that the government had achieved 85% of its target of making Accra the cleanest city in Africa. According to reports, the soldier asked Stanley to surrender his phone and camera he used to capture the story, which he refused, hence triggered the soldier to attack him with his fist and forcibly took his phone and camera to delete all the stories he had taken.
Moving on, the Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability 2 months ago made a petition to President Nana Akufo-Addo to remove the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jane Mensah from office. The petition secured an impeachment declaration from the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, stating Madam Jane Mensah's failure to file her asset declaration form in accordance with the law, hence must be removed from office. Now, although Traj noted that the EC chair subsequently declared her assets after her attention was drawn onto. Now, the ASEPA insists that the EC chair steps down from her position. Now, meanwhile, a statement from the presidency office has rejected the petition, as the Chief Justice did not find any status that criminalizes the non-declaration of assets within the stipulated time in the Constitution.
And still in local news, government task force on retail trade has commenced shutting down of shops without license at Soldier Bar in Circle. About 50 shops have been closed by a team of police and military force, leaving the affected traders worried. However, PRO of the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Prince Wache Boateng, said traders who claim to have license to operate a retail shop can visit their office. Speaking to Joy News, the PRO mentioned traders had agreed to follow the instructions, only for them to be met with attacks instead. The Ghana Union of Traders Association last month demanded the closure of shops belonging to illegal foreigners in the country. In a statement signed by a union president, Dr. Joseph Obin said an inspection of the documents by the Committee on Foreign Retail Trade in the country discovered that 90% of the foreigners did not have the license to operate a retail shops in Accra, so they have to shut down their shops.
Now, this morning, reports reaching Radio Guide indicate that the Electoral Commission's office in Accra caught fire in the early hours of today. The fire consumed almost everything in the said building located at Sapeman in the Ghana West municipality, which serves as the regional office of the elective management body. According to reports, the building doubles as a storage place of old and used items for the commission. However, the fire did not affect the main administration block. The Ghana Fire Service and police are investigating the incident.
And moving to health, the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists is asking the Food and Drugs Authority to review the current criteria for validating antibody rapid diagnostic test kits for COVID-19 testing in the country. The laboratory scientists recommended to the FDA to consider the use of a comparator gold standard for the validation of COVID-19. The laboratory scientist says the mode of the current testing in Ghana is not the best standard.
We move on to business stories, where government, through the Ghana Revenue Authority, has begun processes to convert the national identification numbers into tax identification numbers to ensure easy payment of taxes. The move will allow Ghanaians to use their Ghana card number to register their businesses and expected to shore up government revenues. The initiative is expected to commence from January next year. Now, this will increase the number of taxpayers from less than 3 million to 16 million number. Addressing delegates of the National Youth Wing of the New Patriotic Party in Accra, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, said government has secured an amount of $200 million World Bank support to implement the Job and Skills Development Program. The program is expected to be implemented from now till the year 2025 to improve the entrepreneurship skill and productivity of the Ghanaian youth.
And in our entertainment world, popular hip life artist Okyeame Kwame, who has a number of awards, says he is focused on making good music for his fans and not for awards. According to him, He's not worried about after some years in the Ghanaian music industry, he has never gotten a BET or Grammy Awards nomination. According to Ochame Kwame, he says being nominated for an award is good, but it shouldn't be the measure. It should not be used as a measure to judge the success of artists. He also urged his colleagues to compose songs that would shape the youth to become more disciplined and to inculcate in them the real Ghanaian culture.
And finally, in sports, Thomas Partey will no longer play a part in the UEFA Champions League after his Spanish side Atletico Madrid suffered a shock defeat at the hands of RB Leipzig yesterday. The Ghanaian midfielders club was shown when they were defeated 2-1 by the German side in the quarterfinals match played in Portuguese capital because of the coronavirus.
Well, that is it for news at 12, but before we go, a recap of our headlines.
Education Minister says reopening of schools will be dependent on the behavior of COVID-19.
We also read, I am focusing on good music, not awards, says Ochame Kwame.
And government is planning on converting the national identification numbers to tax identification numbers.
And in sports, we also read Atletico Madrid suffered shock in the hands of Leipzig.
Well, the news comes to you live from our studio here in Kokomlemle. Radio Guy Online news comes again at 6 p.m. My name is Miriam Achebia Kobla together with
Efia Asimeniwa.
Do have a wonderful afternoon.
I don't want